The mistake that changed everything. The sky was dark. Red clouds moved slowly over the alien world of Karth. The air was thick. The ground was dry and cracked. Nothing looked friendly here. High above, a small human shuttle shook in the storm. Sparks flew from the broken engine. Inside, Captain Leo Hayes held the control panel, trying to land. "Come on, hold together," he shouted. The ship didn't listen. It was falling fast. Leo wasn't supposed to be here. He was part of a peace mission to a nearby planet, but a strange signal had pulled his ship off course. Now he was crashing into a place no human had visited before. With a loud boom, the shuttle slammed into the ground. Dust filled the air. Metal pieces flew everywhere. Silence. Then Leo slowly opened his eyes. Blood ran down the side of his head. His hands shook, but he was alive. He unbuckled his seatbelt and crawled out of the broken ship. His boots touched alien soil. "This isn't Earth," he whispered. Suddenly, he heard voices. Not human voices, deep and sharp, like growls mixed with words. He turned and saw them. Tall alien warriors in black armor stood in a half-circle. Their skin was dark silver, their eyes glowing blue. And in the center, standing still and proud, was a woman. She wore a long, glowing cape. Her crown was made of sharp crystal. Her face was strong, with eyes like fire. She was Queen Celeria. Leo raised his hands. "Wait, I'm not here to fight. I'm human. My ship crashed," he said quickly. But they didn't move. They stared at him, silent. Behind Celeria, an old alien whispered, "He has entered the sacred ring." Leo looked down. There was a wide glowing circle under his feet. Strange symbols moved across the ground. He had stepped into something important, something forbidden. Celeria's eyes narrowed. "Human," she said in a low voice. "Do you know what you have done?" Leo blinked. I stepped in a circle." The aliens gasped. The guards reached for their weapons. Celeria raised one hand. "Stop." Everyone froze. She walked toward Leo, slowly. Her steps were quiet, but strong. She stopped just inches from him. "This is the bonding circle," she said. "Only the chosen may stand inside it." Leo's heart beat faster. "Okay, I didn't know. I swear." "In our law," she said, "to stand here means one thing. You challenge the queen for her heart." Leo's eyes widened. "Wait, what? No. I don't want your heart." Too late. The law had been spoken, and everyone had seen. One of the guards stepped forward. "Shall we kill him, my queen?" Celeria looked at Leo. Her face showed no fear, no emotion. "No," she said. "He is under sacred law now. He must not be harmed." The court was silent. Leo looked around, confused. "So, I'm not going to die." Celeria turned away. "Not today." Then she said something in her own language. The warriors stepped back. The ring of danger was gone, but the tension stayed. A young alien walked to Leo and handed him a strange silver bracelet. "What's this?" he asked. "Proof," the alien said. "You are now under the Queen's protection. But be careful. Many will not accept you." Leo looked at the Queen. "Are you serious? This is all a mistake. I just want to go home." Celeria did not turn. "Mistake or not, you are in my life now, human." She walked away. Guards followed her. Some stared at Leo with hate in their eyes. Leo stood alone in the middle of the circle, broken ship behind him. Aliens all around him. He had no idea what he had started. Far above, hidden in the mountains, another figure watched everything through a scanner. A cold voice whispered, "So, the Queen protects a human. Interesting. Let's see how long he lives." The Queen's Dilemma. The alien palace stood high above the desert, made of black stone and glowing blue lights. Sharp towers reached the sky. Inside, the halls were quiet, but full of watching eyes. Leo walked slowly beside the royal guards. His legs were sore. His head still hurt from the crash. Every step echoed on the cold floor. He didn't speak. Neither did they. Finally, they reached the throne room. There she sat, Queen Celeria. Her crown sparkled like fire. Her armor shimmered under the dim lights. Her face was calm, but her eyes watched every move. "Leave us," she said. The guards bowed and left. Now, only Leo and the Queen were in the giant room. Leo scratched his neck awkwardly. "So, this place is huge." Celeria raised an eyebrow. "You speak like a child." "Well, I just crash-landed on an alien planet, got called your, bondmate, and now half your people want me dead. So yeah, I'm not exactly calm." She didn't smile, but something in her eyes softened. She stood and walked slowly toward him. "I should have ended you," she said. "That is what tradition demands." Leo stepped back. "Yikes, that's comforting." "But," she continued, stopping just inches away, "I have never met a being who disrespected our sacred ways with such innocence." Leo gave a small laugh. "I'm not trying to disrespect anything. I didn't know." Celeria turned away, looking at the glowing wall behind her. "You are a mistake," she said quietly. "A mistake I cannot undo." Leo looked confused. "Then why protect me?" She didn't answer. Suddenly, the large doors opened. An elder warrior walked in. His armor was red, his face marked with battle scars. He knelt. "My queen, the High Council requests your presence. They demand judgment on the human." Celeria's eyes grew cold again. "I will come," she said. "Prepare the hall." The elder glanced at Leo. "He should not be here. It brings shame." "Go," she told Leo. "Stay in the moon chamber. Speak to no one." Leo nodded, feeling tension rise in the air. As he left, he heard the elder whisper to Celeria, "You are risking everything." She said nothing. The High Council Hall. Later that day, the chamber was filled with ancient aliens in long robes. They sat in a circle, their eyes glowing softly. Celeria stood in the center. "The human must die," one said. "His presence is an insult to our ancestors," said another. "He is weak. He is flesh and fear, not our kind." Celeria's voice was calm, but sharp. "He stepped into the bonding circle. That is law. He did not know our ways." "Then change the law," she said. Gasps echoed. The council leader stood. "You speak like one in love." Celeria narrowed her eyes. "Do not speak again if you wish to keep your tongue." Silence fell. "We will allow the human to live," the council leader said finally, "but only under 3 conditions." Celeria listened. Back in the moon chamber, Leo sat near a glowing window. The sky outside was red and full of storms. A young alien entered, this one softer than the others. She looked curious, not angry. "My name is Thena," she said. Leo stood. "Hi. I'm Leo." "I know. Everyone knows." She handed him a tray of food, strange glowing fruit and thick bread. "You should be careful," she said. "Some want you dead before sunrise." Leo frowned. "Yeah, I'm starting to get that feeling. I think—" Thena paused. "I think the queen doesn't know why she's protecting you." Leo looked up. "Then why is she?" Thena gave a small smile. "Because you are not like us. You don't lie with your face. You don't play the game." She left him alone. Leo looked at the stars above. Late that night, Leo woke to a strange sound. Click, click, click. He stood and looked toward the door. Silence. Then suddenly, boom! The door exploded. Smoke filled the room. Leo fell back as 3 dark-armored assassins rushed in. Their blades were sharp and humming. He grabbed a metal rod from the wall. "Oh, come on." He swung wildly, blocked one, dodged another, but they were fast. too fast. One cut across his chest. Pain shot through him. He screamed. Then, crack! A blast of blue lightning threw the assassins across the room. Queen Celeria stood in the doorway, her hands glowing with energy. She looked furious. "You dare touch what is mine," she roared. The assassins crawled away, but she struck again. This time, they didn't get up. Moments later, Leo sat on the floor, breathing hard, holding his bleeding side. Celeria knelt beside him. "Why? Why did you come?" he asked. She looked at him, and for the first time, she answered truthfully. "Because the moment I saw you, I felt something I have never felt. You were not strong. You were not fast. But you were honest." Leo smiled weakly. "That's the nicest thing anyone said to me today." She helped him up. "From now on, you stay where I can see you. You are under my shield." Leo leaned on her arm. "Is this normal for alien dates?" he asked. Celeria didn't smile, but her voice was soft. "No, human. This is war. Alien court politics. The sun on Kareth never truly set. It burned red across the sky, like fire that never died." Inside the palace, shadows stretched long across the cold stone halls. Captain Leo Hayes had been on this alien world for 3 days, but he already felt like he had survived a lifetime. The Queen's new order. Celeria now kept Leo close. He no longer stayed alone in the moon chamber. Instead, he walked with her, sat near her throne, ate under her protection. And that made many angry. One morning, she entered the royal strategy room. The table was wide and shaped like a circle. Floating maps danced above it, showing battlefields and zones of control. Her war generals stood when she entered, all of them strong, quiet, and proud. Most had never lost a battle. Leo entered behind her. The room went cold. General Varn, tall and fierce, stepped forward. "My queen, why does the human sit in on war discussions?" "He is under my bond," she replied calmly. "He is weak. He knows nothing of our enemies. He distracts you." Celeria's eyes turned sharp. "You question me, General." "No," Varn said, bowing. "I obey." But his voice held poison. Whispers in the hall. Later, Leo walked alone near the garden of stone trees. Strange red leaves floated in the air like ash. Fenna walked beside him, quiet, curious, and loyal to Celeria. "Some say the queen is changing," she whispered. "How?" Leo asked. "She no longer listens to the high voice. She delays war plans. She speaks to you before speaking to the council." Leo sighed. "Well, I didn't ask to be her. Whatever this is, I don't want power. I just want to survive." Fenna smiled a little. "But on Kareth, survival is power." They turned a corner and stopped. 2 armored guards stood near the wall, speaking in low tones. They didn't see Leo and Fenna yet. "She should have killed the human on day one," one said. "Now look, our queen is distracted. The clans are rising. Her enemies grow stronger. She grows weak," the other said. "Perhaps it is time we choose a new queen." Leo felt a chill. He stepped back quietly. Fenna pulled his arm. "Come, we must tell her." A broken alliance. That night, Celeria met with her inner circle, 5 trusted commanders who had fought beside her in the Great War. Leo stood nearby, silent. "We face a challenge from House Drazak," one said. "They claim your bond with the human breaks ancient law." "Let them challenge me," Celeria replied. "Let them die trying." "But they are not alone," another said. "Many now whisper that your heart clouds your rule." Celeria's jaw tightened. "My heart is mine. It does not belong to tradition." Suddenly, one commander stepped forward. Her name was Loria, once Celeria's closest friend. "With respect, my queen, I fear we are losing you." Celeria stood. "Then you fear what you do not understand." Loria bowed, but her eyes were sad. Then I asked for release from my oath. The room went silent. Leo could feel it. A fracture, a split, something breaking. Celeria nodded slowly. So be it. Aurea walked out. The sound of her steps echoed like thunder, the language of power. That night, Celeria and Leo sat on the palace balcony. The wind blew softly, carrying the scent of metal and fire. Below them, the city lights glowed like stars. "I've caused this, haven't I?" Leo said. "No," she answered. "You are the stone that hit the water, but the waves were already there." He looked at her. "Why are you still protecting me?" She did not look away. "Because you are honest, and because I am tired of pretending to be a perfect queen." She turned to him. "Do you know what power means here?" Leo shook his head. "It means fear," she said. "It means silence. It means smiling at those who want you dead. It means trusting no one." "And me?" he asked. "You are the only one I cannot predict," she said. "And somehow, I find that comforting." For a moment, there was no war, no politics, just a queen and a lost human, sitting under the alien sky, a trap in the shadows. The next morning, a message arrived. "House Drazak offers a peace gift," a messenger said. "They wish to speak in the Great Dome." Celeria narrowed her eyes. "Why now?" "They say they accept your bondmate, that they wish to honor your choice." Leo stood beside her. "That sounds too easy." "It is a trap," she said, "but one I will walk into. Let them show their faces." The Great Dome. That evening. The Great Dome was ancient, older than any other building. Its walls were covered in carvings of war and blood. Celeria entered in full armor. Leo walked beside her, wearing ceremonial robes. He felt strange, out of place, but stood tall. House Drazak stood across the room. Their leader, Lord Kale, was tall, pale, and smiled with false kindness. "Queen Celeria," he said, "we come in peace." "Then speak quickly," she replied. "We accept your bondmate, and we offer alliance." Leo looked confused. "Wait, really?" Lord Kale smiled. "Yes, but first, a gift." He clapped once. 2 guards brought out a cage. Inside was Thena, bruised, gagged, hurt. Leo's eyes widened. "What?" Kale smiled. "She spied on us, but we thought you might want her back. In return, step down, leave the throne, walk away, and she lives." Celeria stepped forward. Her eyes burned. "You dare threaten what is mine?" Kale laughed. "You have a choice. Let go of the crown, or let go of your people." Celeria did not speak. She raised her hand, and lightning roared from her palm. Human strength. Smoke still danced in the air. Thena was free. Lord Kale of House Drazak was gone. Alive, but humiliated. Celeria had attacked without fear, with raw power in front of every noble house. The message was clear. Touch what is mine, and I will burn your world. But the war wasn't over. It was just beginning. A kingdom on edge. The palace felt different now. Quieter, colder. Every servant moved like they were being washed. Every warrior kept one hand near their weapon. The council chambers were full of whispers. House Drazak had gone silent after the dome incident. That silence was more dangerous than open war. "They are planning something," Celeria said, "and next time, they won't test me with words." Leo listened quietly beside her. He still wore the ceremonial robes from the night before. His hands were bandaged. His side still ached from the last assassin attack. "But they won't just fight you," he said. "They'll come for me. I'm the weak point. That's what they think." Celeria looked at him. "Let them." "No," Leo said. "Let me show them I'm not." The trial of beasts. Later that day, a challenge arrived from the war circle. House Drazak had invoked an old rite. the trial of beasts. It was a public combat event, a place to prove strength, skill, and dominance. Normally, only warriors were allowed. But this time, the challenge was aimed at Leo. It was clear they wanted to humiliate him, to show the entire court that the queen had chosen a fragile creature for a bondmate, a pet, not a partner. Celeria paced in her war chamber. "I will not allow this," she said. "It's a trap to shame us both." Leo stood still. His voice was steady. "Let me fight." Celeria stared at him. "You will die." "Maybe," Leo said, "but not without showing them what being human means." Training begins. For the next 3 days, Leo trained with the queen's personal guards. He woke early, ate little, slept less. He learned the alien fighting stance. He held a pulse spear for the first time. He fell a lot, blood a little, but he didn't stop. The guards mocked him at first. Quiet laughs, rolling eyes. By the second day they watched. By the third, they respected him. Celeria observed in silence. At night, she brought him healing crystals. She stood beside him as he rested under the alien moonlight. "Why do you try so hard?" she asked once. He looked at her, eyes tired but focused. "Because if I die, I want to die as someone who mattered, not someone who hid behind you." She said nothing, but when she walked away, her heart felt heavier and warmer. The day of the trial. The arena was massive, built into a mountain crater. Thousands of aliens filled the stone seats, screaming and chanting. Drums pounded like thunder. In the center, Leo stood in light armor. He held a short pulse spear and a shield that buzzed faintly. Across the ring, a massive gate opened. The beast stepped out, 10 feet tall, covered in red scales, 4 eyes, 2 mouths, claws the size of swords. Leo swallowed hard. "Okay," he muttered. "No problem. Just a giant alien lizard with rage issues." A horn blew. The beast roared. The trial had begun. Not strong, but smart. Leo didn't charge. He didn't swing wildly. He ran. He dodged. He rolled between the beast's legs and smacked its tail with the spear. It turned in confusion. The crowd laughed at first, until the beast missed again, and again, and again. Leo was dancing around it like smoke, cutting, jumping, tiring it out. The beast roared in frustration. Leo was bleeding now. His leg had been slashed, but he kept moving. Then, he saw the weak point, a scar under its arm, maybe old, maybe soft. He ran straight at it. The beast roared again and lifted him in the air. The crowd gasped. But Leo had already thrown his spear, right into the scar. The beast screamed and dropped him. Leo hit the ground hard. Silence. The beast fell behind him, dead. The arena exploded in cheers and disbelief. A human had just won the trial of beasts. The queen's pride. Celeria stepped into the arena. Her armor shimmered. Her face, for once, showed something rare. A smile. Leo struggled to stand. She walked to him and placed one hand on his shoulder. "You have no claws," she said. "No poison. No armor in your skin." He nodded. "I noticed. And yet, you fight like a storm." He looked up at her. "I'm not a warrior." "No," she said. "You are something more dangerous. You are unpredictable." The crowd watched in silence as she lifted his hand into the air. And for the first time in Kareth history, aliens cheered for a human. A new target. But far away, deep beneath the city, in a dark council chamber of House Drazek, a meeting was taking place. Lord Kale sat at a stone table. His face was calm, but his eyes burned. "So the human wins," one noble said. "He is clever," said another. Kale leaned forward. "Then we stop using strength. We use shadows." He dropped a black crystal onto the table. It glowed with green fire. Let's see how brave he is when we take away the queen. The war begins. Kareth's sky turned black. Storm clouds gathered, not of weather, but of war. The crack in the throne. Queen Celeria sat on the throne, her face calm, but her hands tight. It had been 5 days since Leo defeated the beast in the arena. 5 days since the court whispered about the soft human with sharp thinking. But peace hadn't come. Instead, messages of unrest spread from the outer regions. Fires in the mining cities, riots in the steel markets. Warriors loyal to House Drazek had begun moving silently, gathering soldiers, arming ships. Inside the palace, tension hung heavy. "They are testing you," General Varys said, "looking for weakness, waiting for you to slip." Celeria nodded. "Then we give them no weakness." But her voice had lost some of its fire. She hadn't been sleeping. And when no one looked, she pressed her hand to her ribs. A wound still healing. A secret blade from the dome. Poisoned. She hadn't told Leo. Not yet. Signs of betrayal. Leo walked through the inner halls with Thenna. The guards no longer mocked him. Now they gave respectful nods. He had earned that with sweat and blood. But something felt wrong. "Why is everyone looking at the sky?" Leo asked. Thenna stopped. Her voice dropped low. "There are ships gathering above the black moons. Warships." Leo narrowed his eyes. Celeria said the outer clans would never rise, that they're too afraid. Thenna looked at him. "Not anymore. Not since you." Leo's heart sank. "They think I made her soft." Thenna nodded slowly. "Or worse, they think you made her change." Assassins in the dark. That night, thunder rolled outside. Leo couldn't sleep. He walked through the halls, thinking about Earth, about his crash, about how far things had gone. Then he saw something move in the shadows. Too fast. Too quiet. He followed. Down the stairs. Past the crystal halls. Toward the queen's private chamber. His stomach dropped. No. He ran. The door was broken. Inside, Celeria stood, barely. Blood ran down her arm. 2 assassins lay dead. One still fought her, blade in hand. Leo grabbed a spear from the wall and charged in. "Get away from her." He swung wildly, blocking a killing strike. Celeria gasped as Leo shoved the assassin back. Then she lifted her hand. Energy roared. And the last assassin hit the far wall, dead. Silence. Celeria fell to one knee. Leo caught her. "You're hurt, badly." She tried to stand. "It's nothing." "Don't lie to me," Leo said, his voice shaking. "How long have you been hiding this?" She didn't answer. "You think you're protecting me. But I can't protect you if you keep shutting me out." Her eyes met his. And this time, she didn't argue. Burning the banner. The next day, the royal fire chamber lit with rage. A black banner burned in the flames, the symbol of House Drazek. The meaning was clear to everyone in the court. The queen had declared war. There is no more hiding. Celeria told her army. No more silence. We fight not for tradition, not for law, but for survival. Her warriors roared. Leo stood beside her, wearing a dark robe lined with silver. No longer a guest, no longer a question. Now he was her second. A new kind of strategy. That night in the war room, Leo spoke to the commanders. "I'm not a soldier. I can't swing a war blade like you, but I've seen something you've missed." They listened, curious. He stepped to the map. Dozens of glowing red dots hovered in space. Enemy ships. "They're not coming straight," Leo said. "They're waiting for you to strike first, so they can call you the villain." Celeria nodded. "They want to frame us. Make it look like I'm out of control." Leo pointed to a small system. "But this station here, if we secure it, we cut off their supply line." Varys raised an eyebrow. "That would take a quiet strike team." Leo smiled. "Good thing you've got me." Celeria looked at him with pride and fear. She didn't want him going, but she didn't stop him either. The silent strike. 2 days later, Leo boarded a scout ship with Thena and 3 elite warriors. They wore black armor with no marks. Ghosts in space. The plan was simple. Sneak in, hack the station's comms, get proof that Drazek had ordered the assassins, and get out. But things never go that simple. The station was waiting. Leo had just reached the control panel when the lights cut. Thena shouted, "Ambush!" Aliens swarmed from hidden walls. A trap. Fire and loyalty. The battle inside the station was fast and brutal. One of the guards fell early. Leo pulled Thena behind cover. "Go, find the core room." She ran. Leo grabbed a fallen blaster and did something he never thought he'd do. He fired back. His shots were wild, but he hit 2. The others closed in. But then, a roar shook the walls. Celeria's flagship had arrived. She had come anyway. From the sky, her warriors dropped like fire. A full strike team entered the station and wiped the attackers out. Celeria walked straight to Leo, her armor shining with fury. "I told you not to die," she said. Leo coughed. "Yeah, I'm working on it." Proof and power. Back on Kareth, the Queen stood before the council. This time, she wasn't asking. She dropped a holo crystal in the middle of the floor. It showed a secret meeting, Lord Kale ordering the death of Thena and the human. The council gasped. One elder stood. "This is proof of war crimes." Celeria turned to the room. "Now you see, this is not about love, not about tradition. This is about power-hungry traitors who use your fear." She stepped aside. Leo walked forward. "I am not your enemy," he said. "I never asked to be here. But now that I am, I'm not backing down." He held up the silver bracelet, the same one given to him when he stepped into the bonding circle. "You say I don't belong. Fine, but I'm still here." Silence. Then, slowly, the council stood and bowed, not just to the Queen, but to both of them. War has begun. Later that night, Leo and Celeria stood on the palace roof, watching the skies. Enemy ships still moved beyond the moons. The battle hadn't started yet, but it was coming. "Do you ever wish I had never crashed here?" Leo asked. Celeria didn't answer right away. Then she spoke, quiet and certain. "No, because for the first time, I'm not ruling alone." Leo looked up. "Then let's win this. Together. Love in a time of war." The planet of Kareth had changed. The air was colder now. The skies darker. The wind carried the sound of warships flying above, and soldiers marching below. But deep inside the royal palace, behind stone walls and locked doors, something else was happening. Something quiet. Something powerful. Moments between battles. Leo stood by the high window of the war tower. From there, he could see the outer city glowing in orange light. Fires burned far off. Smoke curled into the red sky. He didn't speak. Celeria stood behind him, silent too. She wore no crown, no armor, just a black robe that made her look less like a queen and more like someone real. Neither of them moved. Then she broke the silence. "You haven't asked me why I came to that space station." Leo didn't turn. "You already told me. To save me." "No," she said softly. "I came because I couldn't stay behind. I kept imagining you bleeding in the dark, dying alone." He turned to face her. "I wasn't alone. I had Thena. And your guards." Her eyes narrowed. "Don't joke." "I'm not," Leo said, stepping closer. "I'm telling you the truth. You're not the only one who felt afraid." Celeria studied him for a long moment. "You were afraid. For me." "Yes," he said, "because I've never seen someone fight so hard for someone they barely knew. And I don't want to lose that." Her eyes softened. "You don't want to lose me." Leo nodded. That too. Training and trust. The days passed in quiet chaos. Fleets moved through the stars. Cities prepared for siege. Council meetings turned tense and loud. But in the early mornings, before the sun fully rose, Leo trained. Not with weapons now, but with Sileria herself. She showed him how to move, how to listen, how to fight with someone, not just alone. He learned her rhythms. She learned his instincts. Once, during sparring, he caught her off guard. She fell backward, surprised. She looked up at him, breathless, a smile on her lips. "You're getting better," she said. "I had a good teacher." She pulled him down beside her. The stone floor was cold, but her touch wasn't. "Will you stay after this is over?" she asked suddenly. Leo hesitated. "You mean after the war?" "Yes." He looked at the sky through the open ceiling. "I don't know if Earth would even take me back. But maybe I don't want to go." She said nothing. She didn't need to. A different kind of bond. Later that evening, they sat together in the Queen's garden. Strange glowing flowers pulsed gently with blue light. The air smelled like metal and fruit. Leo picked one and turned it in his hand. "Do these mean anything?" "Yes," Sileria said. "They only bloom when two minds are in sync." Leo blinked. "Like soulmates." "Not exactly," she said. "We don't believe in fate here, but we believe in balance. When two people balance each other, the flowers bloom." Leo placed the glowing flower behind her ear. It fit perfectly. "I don't know your customs," he said. "I probably mess everything up." Sileria reached out and touched his hand. "You messed them up in the best way." They didn't kiss. They didn't have to. Their silence said more than words. Thena's warning. The next morning, Thena rushed into the chamber. Her face was pale, her breathing fast. "My queen." "Leo, there's something you need to hear." They followed her to the war chamber, where a secret transmission played on the crystal screen. It was a voice they knew too well. Lorea, the commander who had left Sileria's side. Now she was speaking to Lord Kale. "She's distracted by the human," Lorea said. "She doesn't see the real threat. We strike in 3 days, during the Ember ceremony. She'll never expect it." Leo felt his stomach twist. Sileria said nothing, but her hands curled into fists. Broken loyalty. That night, Sileria stood alone on the palace roof. She stared at the stars like they were old enemies. Leo joined her. "She was your friend," he said. Sileria nodded. "We bled together in the last war. I saved her life. She saved mine." Leo stood beside her. "You trusted her." And she broke it. They were quiet for a while. Then she looked at him. "I don't know what I'm becoming," she said. "This throne, this power, it changes people." Leo shook his head. "It didn't change you. You're changing it." She frowned. He stepped closer. "Look around. You let me speak in council. You train with your guards. You heal your enemies when they surrender. You were never weak, Sileria. But now, you're something stronger. You're human." She laughed softly. "That's not a compliment on my world. It is on mine." She reached out and held his hand. Not as a queen, but as something closer. Preparing for the Ember ceremony. The Ember ceremony was an old tradition, meant to honor fallen warriors before battle. It was held in the sacred volcano, deep in the fire caves. This time, it would also be a trap. Sileria knew it. So did Leo. But they had to go. If they canceled the ceremony, it would look like fear. And fear was a wound that enemies could smell. They made a plan. Thena would watch the skies. The royal guard would be hidden in plain sight. Leo would stay by Sileria's side, no matter what. But something still felt off. Too easy. Too quiet. The ceremony begins. The fire caves glowed with orange light. Lava bubbled far below the stone bridges. Drums echoed through the tunnels. Celeria stood tall in ceremonial robes. Leo wore a simple black cloak with silver thread, the symbol of the Queen's chosen. Thousands watched from the rock walls above. Lorea stood across the circle, pretending to honor the dead. Leo kept his eyes on her. The Queen began to speak. "We honor those who fell so we may rise. We stand not alone, but together, stronger, wiser, unbroken." Suddenly, a scream, then an explosion. The betrayal. From the top of the cave, warriors dropped in black armor. Blasters fired. Guards scrambled. Lorea drew a blade and rushed the Queen. Leo moved faster. He stepped in front of her and took the hit. Blood. Pain. Screaming. He dropped. Celeria caught him before he hit the ground. "No," she screamed, and the sound shook the mountain. Lightning exploded from her body. She rose into the air, eyes glowing, power ripping through her skin like fire. She struck the ground. Once. Every traitor froze, then fell. The Queen's wrath. Smoke filled the fire caves. Screams echoed through the lava tunnels. Red light danced across the stone walls. Bodies lay broken on the floor. Traitors struck down by their own queen. In the center of the chaos, Celeria knelt beside Leo. His blood stained the stone. Her hands shook as she held him close. "Don't you dare," she whispered. "Don't you leave me." Leo tried to speak. His lips moved. No sound came. The blade had struck deep, just below the ribs. A killing strike meant for her. He had taken it. For her. Her guards formed a circle, keeping enemies away. Thenna rushed to her side with a medic kit, tears in her eyes. But Celeria didn't move. Her fire was gone. Only rage remained. A queen's rage. Later that night, Leo lay inside the healing chamber, surrounded by soft blue light. Machines hummed around him. Alien technology worked to repair what muscle and medicine could not. Celeria stood just outside, silent, her fists clenched. Her generals waited behind her. Even the strongest among them didn't speak. Finally, Varys stepped forward. "My queen, what are your orders?" She didn't turn. "Burn them," she said coldly. "Every fleet, every fortress, every house that raised a hand against him." Varys nodded. "And House Drazik." She finally turned. Her eyes glowed like a dying star. "I will deal with them myself." The storm above. 3 days later, the sky above Kerith was black with warships. The Queen's fleet rose like a tidal wave. Carriers, destroyers, stealth drones, all armed and ready. Their engines roared through the clouds. On the ground, warriors painted their armor with glowing runes, symbols of vengeance. In the war room, the command table lit up with battle plans. Celeria stood at the center. No crown, no robe. Just black armor and silent fury. She gave the order. "Begin the purge." The human wakes. Leo woke in the healing chamber. His chest burned with pain, but he was alive. Thenna sat beside him. Her face lit up when he opened his eyes. "You made it," she said. Leo groaned. "Define made it." She smiled. "Celeria kept the world spinning until you did." He sat up slowly. "Where is she?" Thena's face turned serious. "She's leading the attack. Personally." Leo's stomach dropped. "She's going to kill them all, isn't she?" "She's going to destroy them," Thenna said. "No survivors. No mercy." Leo pulled off the wires and healing bands. "I need to find her." The final battlefield. House Drazek's homeworld was made of jagged mountains and red clouds. Their citadel sat like a knife in the earth, sharp, dark, and full of death. Celeria landed at the front gate alone. The guards raised their weapons. She lifted her hand, and the mountain cracked. One blast from her powers split the wall. Fires rose behind her. Her warriors stormed in, cutting through the traders like a wave of flame. Celeria moved like a storm, lightning at her fingertips, fury in her eyes. She was no longer just a queen. She was wrath. The confrontation. Inside the throne hall of Drazek, Lord Kale waited. He wore black armor, his face calm, his hands stained with old blood. "So," he said, "the Queen of Fire comes at last." Celeria stepped inside alone. Her boots crushed the stone. Kale smiled. All this for a human. She didn't answer. "Do you love him?" Kale asked, circling her. "That fragile little thing. That accident." Celeria's voice was a whisper. "He is the only one who never wanted my throne. Only my safety." Kale raised his blade. "Then he made you weak." Celeria raised her hand. The chamber exploded in light. The queen's wrath unleashed. They fought like gods. Kale struck with speed and strength, but Celeria was faster, smarter. Her rage guided her hands. Her grief made her stronger. Every hit from her cracked stone. Every scream from her echoed through space. When Kale fell to one knee, blood dripping from his mouth, he spat. "He made you soft." Celeria stood over him. "No," she said. "He made me whole." Then she struck the final blow. Lord Kale fell. And the war was over. A queen without her heart. Celeria stood alone in the ruined hall. The battle was won. But Leo was gone. Or so she thought. Then, from the shadows, "Nice punch." She spun around. There he stood, pale, weak, but alive. Leo walked slowly across the broken floor. His shirt still showed the healing scar. His voice was soft. "You didn't wait for me." Celeria froze, then ran to him. They met in the middle of the ruins. No words, only a long, shaking breath. He held her. She held him. And for the first time in all of Kareth history, the queen cried. 1 month later, the palace was being rebuilt. The city sang again. But everything had changed. Celeria ruled with fire still, but now with warmth too. She created new laws, opened the council to more voices, gave peace a chance. And at her side, always, was Leo. He still didn't wear a crown, but he wore something stronger. Respect. From aliens, from warriors, from her. The ending, and a beginning. One evening, as the stars blinked into the sky, Celeria and Leo stood on the tower balcony. He held a message in his hand. "Earth wants me to come back," he said. Her face was still. "Will you go?" He looked at the stars, then at her. "No." He threw the message into the wind. She stepped closer. "Why?" He smiled. "Because I already found home."